Hello, welcome to Completely Naked Gaming. Let's play Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars. This is part 9. Now first of all, I just want to say, if for any reason the audio is worse, it's because I'm now using a professional microphone. It might pick up a lot more background noise, I'm not sure. Any popping, don't worry, there's no bombs going off, I'm not in a war zone, it's just the fireworks outside. If it sounds better, great, because so far I've been using a PlayStation 3 headset with a built-in mic that costs about a tenner, so hopefully this will be a lot better. Anyway, back to the game. Can anyone remember what happened on the last one? It's been a few days since I played. Let's find out, shall we? Oh, well, that's right, yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to go to the Korean Museum and find out about this tripod. I can't really remember.
You have left it very late, monsieur.
Late for what?
Anything? I am closing the museum soon. You wouldn't like to get locked in. I can tell you, not in this gallery.
Why not?
It is haunted, monsieur.
You don't believe in ghosts, surely.
Oh, yes, I do. 7 years ago, a lad managed to hide in here. He made a bet with his friends, I suppose. When I found him in the morning, he was cold as ice and stiff as a board.
Well, what was the cause of death?
They said it was a brain tumor, but on his face was a look of stark, desperate terror such as I have never seen before.
Scary.
Indeed.
Do you know anything about medieval manuscripts?
Not me, monsieur. I am no scholar, though people often mistake me for one. It is the uniform, I guess. They see the clothes. They are impressed.
And they ask you to park their cars?
They ask me to park them. No. They assume I am an authority on the exhibits in my care.
Whereas you know next to nothing about history.
Of course not. All I am saying is, I am no scholar, not like Monsieur Lobineau.
Right, I don't even know why I'm talking to this douchebag.
Thanks for your help.
So, he said I don't want to get locked in, so obviously, in-game lore, that means that's exactly what I need to do. So, first things first, we need to distract him. He needs to be looking away, though. Go on. Go away. That's it. Open the window.
The rod turned smoothly, and the window above me opened.
Right, if I quickly walk over here, you should try and close that window. Here we go. I'll quickly get in here while he closes the window. Job done.
It is closing time, Monsieur Lobineau.
Already, there just aren't enough hours in the day.
More than enough for me. I can't wait to get home and put my feet up.
Eh bien, see you tomorrow.
Good night, monsieur.
Sassy. Here we are. Maybe we'll get to see the ghost. Nope, just Guido. And where Guido goes, Flap's sure to follow.
Hey, Guido! Look at this!
Quit fooling around, you moron! Get your ass over here and bring that flashlight.
Right, so we don't want to interrupt them because they're going to shoot me for sure. So I'm going to push this onto them.
What the? Who's there?
Let's get out of here!
Push it. Go on, George. Come on, George. Oh, you douche. I wonder who that could be.
And when I woke up, I was at the police station. Luckily, I managed to persuade Rosso I was innocent.
Poor George.
What a mess.
Oh, George.
I bungled the whole thing.
I don't think so. You made a pretty good job of distracting those two crooks.
Yeah, but the killer got away with the tripod.
No, he didn't. He's not the only one who can dress up in costume.
You mean
Ta-da!
it was you who stole the tripod? Oh, hell, Nico. I could have been shot.
Those dogs are more likely to shoot their own feet.
I just wish you'd told me your plans. We're supposed to be in this together. And how come you dressed up like a pantomime cat?
Don't sulk, Georgie, please.
Oh, rats. And don't call me Georgie.
Oh, I really thought you'd be pleased. After all, we've got the tripod. Aren't you going to try putting the gem on the tripod?
I guess so.
Now what?
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
The gem fits perfectly, but what does that prove?
Maybe the tripod has to be in a certain location.
There's nothing on the manuscript to indicate where, though, is there?
Oh, by the way, I had a visit from André Lobineau.
Oh, yeah. I hope you didn't mind me giving him your address.
Not at all. It was lovely to see him again. He was over the moon when I showed him the manuscript. It's not often he gets that excited. He made a sketch of the knight's crest to take back to the museum. I believe he's identified the family who bears that crest.
I sure hope so.
Well then, should we talk to him or carry on talking to you?
What do you think the purpose of this tripod is?
On the manuscript, the gem is shown mounted on top of it.
So, we risked a criminal charge to steal a display stand?
Don't ask me. Maybe it's intended to hold the gem in a specific position.
Right, okay.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Why not?
That's the gem that Pegram found in Lochmar.
Oh, there's no point talking to you. You don't know anything. Come on, Jules, let's go.
I have to go.
Already? You only just arrived.
Time and tide wait for no man.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Let's go. So, Andre Lobineau seems to know the family the crest belongs to, so we can go and speak to him, obviously. Not sure that they've actually let me back in the museum, but it's worth a try. Obviously, we've got Montfaucon as well, which we can go to now. Let's go and speak to Lobineau first, shall we? Also, let's see the damage I did. Oh, damn, they fixed it.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie.
What's with the long face?
Haven't you heard? The tripod was stolen.
Oh no.
No kidding.
I just don't get it. So many other treasures, and the thieves choose the tripod.
A modern-day alchemist, perhaps?
Who knows? There's no shortage of crazies in Paris. Hey, I visited Nicole's apartment.
Yeah, she told me you came by.
Ooh, quite a fine Georgie boy. I didn't expect anything quite so sexy.
I hope you're referring to the manuscript.
Oui, of course.
Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
Why, yes, it was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes, they gave a new word to our language, Assassini, the assassins.
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legends surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man who sought to join the sect was given hashish until he drifted into dreams. He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashashin.
I'll sign up. Sounds good.
How did the assassins operate?
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in the use of the dagger, poisons, and disguise. Then, the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy of Allah.
And they'd stop at nothing to eliminate that enemy.
You got it. They were fearless and deadly.
Does the cult of the assassins still exist?
Take a look around at the world today. You tell me.
What can you tell me about Philippe le Bel?
He was responsible for the extermination of the Knights Templar.
I know that, but why was Philip so hot to get rid of them?
Mostly because he wanted to get his hands on their treasure. He had an enormous debt and a lifelong war with England to fund. The trouble was, the Templars were a highly respected holy order.
If the Templars were so powerful, how did this Philippe dude wipe them out?
By underhanded, dishonorable means, of course. The Pope was Clement V, a Frenchman.
French, huh? Handy for Philippe.
Fate had nothing to do with it. He was Philippe's puppet, planted to further his political ambitions. Philippe wanted the wealth of the Templars and used Clement to get it.
So what was Philippe's plan? What happened?
Sealed orders were sent out all over France, not to be opened until the appointed day. That day was Friday, July 13th. That's the origin of our superstition regarding that date. At dawn, throughout the whole of France, the Templars were arrested. It was the biggest bust in the history of the world.
What happened to the Templars after their arrest?
Philippe was out for blood, so he handed the Templars over to the Inquisition. Not surprisingly, they confessed to a sensational and sordid list of blasphemies.
Like what?
Oh, the sort of things you read about in the gutter press. Devil worship, lewd sexual practices, spitting on the Holy Cross, that kind of thing.
Well, that must have given their lawyers some headaches.
Whether or not the accusations were true, this was not good publicity. Most of the charges were probably cooked up, but so were the Templars. Literally. Hundreds of them were found guilty of heresy and flamed grilled at the stake. They died protesting their innocence.
This guy talks a hell of a lot. If after this there's still more, I'm gonna stop and move on. So, one more.
But surely Philippe had no proof of his charges against the Templars.
A man will admit anything under torture. The Inquisition fabricated some nonsensical demon called Baphomet, and then suggested to their victims that this was what they worshipped.
But they didn't have to agree.
The records show a Templar coming to trial with both feet burnt off. Fragments of flesh and charred bone falling from the stumps.
Nice.
What would you not admit to stop such torment?
So there was no truth at all in the Baphomet accusations?
Not a shred. Almost every victim described the idol differently. No, Baphomet never existed outside the sick minds of the Inquisitors.
Oh, really? Ugh. Right, let's just...
So Philippe stole the Templars' rich...
Oh no, they weren't stupid. The king's troops marched first on the temple in Paris. There was no trace of the treasure. And the
What did you make of the manuscript?
it dates from the time of the Crusades.
We guessed that from the Templar seal.
It's a story and pictures like a modern-day comic book.
What story does the manuscript tell?
I don't know. It was probably produced for the tourist market.
Tourists?
Oh, we pilgrims in their thousands on their way to Jerusalem. The tourist trade is nothing new, you know. It's been around for centuries. Ever since Joshua made a packet selling souvenir bricks from the walls of Jericho.
Have you deciphered any of the images on the manuscript?
There's very little I can be sure about. The slang of the bull could be a reference to Mithras,
Who's he?
a Persian god, almost as popular as Christ at one time. The only thing I can be sure of is the knight. He's Spanish.
How can you tell that?
The writing on the shield, the reference to Ave Maria. No self-respecting knight from Northern Europe would have borne a coat of arms like that.
Can you identify the knight's coat of arms?
I already did, Georgie. He's a member of the De Vasconcelos family from the Costa Calida.
Were they famous?
No, they're not mentioned after the 15th century.
Oh,
The spotlight of history moved on. They are probably long dead.
do you think the manuscript could be the map to the Templar treasure?
Frankly, no. That's too far-fetched. The manuscript is interesting enough and a rare find, but that's all.
Wouldn't it be terrific if it was a map, though? The treasure of the Knights Templar.
A romantic notion, Georgie, but extremely improbable.
I just love how excited he gets, like a little kid. Right, okay. So, let's leave you
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
and go to Montfaucon. Oh, by the way, good news, everybody. The other half of Completely Naked Gaming, his name's John. He's finally got his hardware through to be able to do Let's Play of recent console games. So there's going to be a lot more of those coming up. We did our first tester today. It's going to be a couple of weeks just to get things sorted so we know exactly what we're doing. So that's on the horizon.
I once read a list of low-stress jobs. It didn't include police work. Obviously, this guy hadn't read the same list.
Obviously.
Excuse me, officer.
And how may I help you?
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the so-so Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
This guy's wankered.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Let's try and shake his hand, shall we?
Would you like to shake? I stopped myself barely in time. Electrocuting a cop would not have been smart. They'd rebuild the Bastille just so they could throw me in and throw away the key.
Oh.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Right, so you can see that this is highlightable, the manhole cover. And obviously I've got my trusty tool. But if I try and open it now, pretty sure someone's going to have something to say about it.
Hey, you. What do you think you're doing?
Told you.
Leave that cover alone. Now.
Sorry, no harm intended.
You stay away from that.
Right, so obviously I can't go down there until he goes away.
I had no desire to talk to the crowd. There was a small crowd of 5 sightseers. It's a weird thing, but you can take the most intelligent people in the world, put them in their vacation duds, and hey presto, they look like morons. Why is that?
No idea.
The juggler was good. Why he couldn't put that kind of application into getting a real job, I had no idea. Maybe he just liked dressing up like a horse's ass.
Of course he was good. Have you seen the size of his hands? Look at George's hands. Then look at his hands. He can fit a lot of balls in his hands.
Hey, you with the balls.
Oui?
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Le Templier? Ah, the last Grand Master, Jacques du Molay, was burnt on an island in the Seine in 1314.
Wow, you're pretty well educated for a juggler.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
I should really read this board over there.
How did you learn to be a juggler?
Juggler? What is this juggler?
It's you. You juggle, that makes you a juggler.
No, I am a jongleur.
A jongler? What's that?
Mon Dieu. A jongleur is an artist, a master of the contragravitic aeroballetic mysteries. In centuries past, the courts of the crownheads of Europe had the jongleurs, witty, erudite men to whom the monarchs turned in their hours of need.
Wait a minute, wait. Let me get this straight. Our enemies are at the borders, plague ravages the land, and the peasants are revolting. Thank God we've got Chuckles the Jongler to throw his balls around. I don't think so.
Alright, no need to be rude.
That juggling doesn't look so difficult.
Oh, it does not, does it not? Perhaps you feel you could do better, no?
I'll give it
No.
a try.
Be my guest.
I had no idea what I was doing. But this guy was obviously an idiot, so how difficult could it be?
Yeah, but you don't have huge hands. See?
A lot more difficult than I thought. That's how difficult. Still, it was my big chance to be derided by complete strangers.
Not so easy after all, is it?
No, I guess not. Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
So let's go and see what the policeman thinks of my juggling skills. Or jongling, or whatever the hell they call it.
Hello again, officer.
Hello again, monsieur.
What do you think of the juggler?
Ah, he is excellent, most watchable.
But he's blocking the thoroughfare and obstructing traffic.
So, he is amusing. The traffic isn't. If he wants to block it, who am I to say no?
You're a cop.
Ah, oui. So I am. Ah, well,
So you're not gonna do anything about this guy.
no.
He probably doesn't even have a license.
Ah, a license. This I had not considered.
So what are you gonna do?
The instant I return to the station, I shall check
Return to the station? Why not just ask him?
and spoil his concentration. What kind of a barbarian do you take me for?
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Right. I remember what I got to do here, but I can't remember how to trigger it or how to get somebody to tell me. So, basically, I've got this clown nose, and I can use it on this guy,
Hi again.
and it should be funny when I drop the balls.
Oui? What is it this time?
Look, a red nose.
Ah, you are a clown.
A clown?
No, if so, you would be a much better jongleur.
For a moment, an idea capered around near the spotlight of my attention, but fell down the pothole of abstraction before I could focus on it.
Right, so I'm halfway there. So if I show the nose to this guy, there's no point talking to these guys. They're
Hello
not paying
again,
any attention to
officer.
me at all.
Hello again, monsieur.
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Ah, you are a clown.
Do I look like a clown?
No, although you juggle like one. Now, if I'd known you were a clown, it would have been amusing. And not a humiliation for you.
What do you mean?
Who ever heard of a plainclothes clown?
He had a point.
So you're saying that if I juggle badly with a red nose, I'd be the king of comedy. But if I juggle badly without it...
You look like a pathetic loon. Oui, monsieur, you have it.
I do have it. So, use this on him again. Juggle. Be funny.
Hi again.
That kind of stuff.
Oui? What is it this time?
Look, a red nose.
Oh, you say, whoop-de-doo.
Hi again.
I'm definitely onto something here. I know it's something to do with it.
What is it this time?
I want to juggle again. Let me juggle.
I'd like to have another try at juggling, please.
You have gone on a crash course, perhaps.
No. I just had an insight into presentation.
Huh?
Allow me to
Presentation.
demonstrate.
Presentation.
The balls, please.
If you insist on completing your humiliation, monsieur.
Okay, now for my secret weapon.
Funny.
The juggler was speechless with rage. You could have mistaken him for a mime. And without a word, he collected his balls and left in a fury.
Bye.
Hey! You forgot one of your balls! Hey! But he didn't hear.
Oh well.
Better still,
We'll keep
deprived
it.
of his entertainment, the gendarme decided maybe he ought to do some policing for a change.
Didn't even finish his wine. These guys are still going to watch me, but never mind. It's like Mary Poppins in this jacket. Just pull stuff out of there. And we're back in the sewers.
The wall had flaked, and anything once written on it had long since gone.
Okay, so let's destroy this old wall.
Hey! That's hollow! It was time for some brutal destruction.
Ta-da!
I'd poked a hole in an historical site. If any archaeologists came by, they'd lynch me for this. Close up, I could see the plaster was thinner where I'd broken through, and behind it were some cogs and a lever.
Okay. So obviously we can... I could have sworn you used to be able to walk around the side here and see an unused door. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, so we can try and pull the,
Here
the
goes.
lever. Or the lever. Whatever.
Hey, cool!
Ah, I got stuck.
The secret door had jammed. I couldn't get through that gap.
If only there was some sort of winch or something we could use. Oh, hang on. By the way, to anybody who doesn't like Broken Sword, first of all, why you're watching the video if you don't like Broken Sword. Second of all, what's wrong with you. And third of all, I don't only play Broken Sword. I have got other videos of retro games and soon to be videos of new games as well. It's going to be games on the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360, the Wii U, and the Xbox One, and eventually the PlayStation 4. Ooh, a crack. Every time I see a crack, I just have to stick my face for it. What? That's normal, right? Don't judge me.
In the beginning was the end. An end wrought by our enemies began our darkness. In the end will be a beginning. An end to our enemies heralds our new day.
Report. The military establishments are in flux. The end of the Cold War has left them with no clear goal and as obvious targets for budgetary cuts. We have successfully promoted a sense of betrayal in the upper echelons. They feel that the politicians have cast them adrift. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Good. Mademoiselle?
Governments are giving the corporations more respect than their own citizens. A groundswell of dissatisfaction and dissidence is growing. The corporations are becoming too large and complex for their own executives to control them. A blind belief in market forces is accelerating this trend the world over. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
The global population's belief in those that govern it has never been lower. We have inculcated a sense of immediacy and action over forethought and planning in all the major governments. They are acting on hasty decisions that cannot be completed or revoked without appearing foolish. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Excellent. The tired old governments are dying a slow death from their own incompetence and our machinations. The millennium is almost upon us, and everything is in place for the rise of our new order. Almost. Professor, where is the broken sword?
As we discussed last time, with the loss of the manuscript, our search is as a corollary hindered.
And as discussed last time, you have been furnished with a dramatically increased budget. What have you been doing with our money, Professor?
We are working on the principle that the Templars, that is to say our predecessors,
Hold on. These are the Templars?
must have left a trail when they were hiding the clues to the sort of Baphomet's location. I have a small army of historians and archaeologists ferreting out that trail.
I trust these historians and archaeologists are more trustworthy than your friend Pegram.
Pegram was loyal. He tried to protect the Lakmarn gem when the Hashashin came near.
And failed. And don't call that Syrian maniac the Hashashin. He's an assassin. Plain and simple.
That's not what he believes. He actually thinks.
Silence! Do I have to remind you that we have a sacred duty? A trust? When Philippe attempted to destroy the Order, we lost the sword and our power with it. Now we have the opportunity to reforge it. But time is short. We need results, not petty bickering, not excuses. Now, Professor Baphomet.
Yes, of course. My apologies. We will find Baphomet. and the sword, manuscript or no. We have already found another element actually within Paris.
Excellent. What is it?
Well, we're not exactly sure at present.
Ha!
But I have my best people working on it. You would do well not to criticize others, Eklund. At least I have not murdered one of our own.
Of course. That guy was the bogus doctor in the hospital.
Yep.
Marquet was a liability. Eklund dealt with him on my orders.
I beg your pardon, Grandmaster. I did not mean to.
Have you any good news for us, Professor?
We already know 3 of the elements. We know that Klausner had obtained the lens before he vanished.
Where was he?
Syria. We know that he arrived, but after that, nothing.
The assassin.
I fear so. It's a shame. Klausner was a good operative.
Right, okay. So basically we've seen the Templars, if you like, and you may have recognised a couple of people there. There was the bogus doctor, as George pointed out, and there was also the guy from the unpronounceable Eastern European state. So those people are all downstairs. Let's have another look.
This will be our last meeting in person until we locate the sword of Baphomet. I hope that I don't need to emphasize the importance of finding it. Without it, our endeavors come to nothing. With the sword reforged, we will have the power to sweep the stage of all opposition. The new millennium will belong to us. The next time that we meet, it will be to become the princess of this world!
And princess. Okay, so now they've gone, I can go downstairs and see what they were standing on. Now, they were talking about the coming of the millennium and all that sort of stuff. I remember that time. It was exciting. Everyone thought the world was going to end and all that sort of stuff. Good times. Come on, George, hurry up. Got to end this video soon. There we go. Right, so there's some stuff on the floor. There's some sort of pedestal here. I'm going to go ahead and put the tripod on it. Now that music obviously means I'm doing something right, so I'm going to put the gem on top of the tripod, and magically the light's just going to line up perfect. See? Marie.
The light falling from above struck the gem and scattered in 5 neat rays, and each ray picked out a letter. Starting from the seal, I could read M-A-R-I-B, Marib. Now all I had to do was figure out what the heck that meant.
Who knows? I do. That's who.
Nico, I've seen them.
Who?
The Templars. I spied on their meeting in the catacombs.
And you saw the Knights Templar?
I saw a bunch of guys masquerading as Templars. They're after something called the Sword of Baphomet. The bogus doctor was there, the guy who killed Marquet. The manuscript is the key, just as we thought. It shows the way to the broken sword, whatever that is.
And how does the assassin fit into all this?
He's out to stop them. These Neo-Templars, they're men and women in influential positions. Don't you see? Plantar was one of them. The assassin killed him for the manuscript, to stop them finding the sword.
But now we have got the manuscript.
Yes.
So, how do they hope to find the sword?
I don't know. They said something about a lens and a guy called Klausner who's gone to Syria.
But they didn't seem to realize the significance of the very site of their meeting. You see, after they'd gone, I discovered a stone pedestal and a carved inscription. I set up the gem on the tripod, directly below a beam of light. The gem split the beam and lit the letters M-A-R-I-B.
Marib is a village in Syria.
Then the Neo-Templars are ahead of us. Klausner beat me to it.
You're not thinking of going there yourself, are you?
Why not?
These guys are crazy and dangerous. That reminds me, you should leave the gem here.
Okay. What about the tripod?
I'll send it back to Andre, anonymously.
Okay, right, so we're going to finish up our little conversation here. We're going to save it.
Labino explained who the Hashashin were.
Yeah?
The cult of the assassins.
Oh, boy.
So excited. Pointless, but excited. Right.
Do you think I should go to Marib?
Syria is a long way, Georges.
That's not an answer, is it? Okay, right, this is where I'm going to end the video. In the next video, we're going to be going to Syria by the looks of it. So make sure you join us. See you soon.